Hi guys, so I thought it might be good to have a video available at all times for you on YouTube about scientific notation. Seems that we're struggling a little bit with this, so let's go over it. If I give you a number and ask you to convert it to standard notation, it will be in scientific notation to start with. So that might be something like 9.300 times 10 to the, let's say, third. And if I want you to convert that into standard notation, since this is a positive exponent, the decimal point needs to move to the left. And it needs to move 3 places. So I'm going to start here and I'm going to go to the left 3 places and it'll end up right after that last 0. And so that'd be 9,300. And I'd probably put a comma here. And since these are significant digits, I would also put a decimal point here. Let's do another one. Say I started with 7.03 times 10 to the negative 2. So now since that exponent is negative, I need to move the exponent in the other direction. It has to go to the left. And it needs to go 2 places. And so I need to put zeros out here in front, and the decimal point will now be here, and I need a leading 0 before the decimal point. And that 0's there just for clarity so that I know that that's a decimal point and that you've moved it correctly. So if we have a positive exponent in our scientific notation, we move the decimal to the right. If we have a negative exponent, we move the decimal to the left, that number of places. So that's the first part. Now, what if I wanted you to convert a number into scientific notation? Well, so let's say I have 12,010. Since this number is bigger than 1, I need to move the decimal point to the left, and I will have a positive exponent. And so I need to move it over 1, 2, 3, 4 places. So I'm going to get 1.201 times 10 to the 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, what if I have a number that's smaller than 1? So 0.0037. Now I have a number that the decimal point needs to move to the left in between the 3 and the 7. And that will be 1, 2, 3 places. So it's going to be 3.7 times 10 to the negative. And so this would be a negative exponent. 1, 2, 3. Okay. So let's try doing calculations in scientific notation. And this is when I would get out my calculator. And so let's turn this on. And we have to subtract. So when we have to subtract, to figure out where your significant digits are, you need to get both of these exponents to the highest or most positive exponent. So this is more positive than this one. This one's smaller. And so I'm going to move this decimal point left 1 place to get them to line up in terms of the same exponent. So it would be 1.0 times 10 to the negative 6 minus 0.437 times 10 to the negative 6. Now I can put in my calculator the same way, but now I know where my significant figures are going to end, and I can only report 1 decimal place. So, to put it in my calculator, I need to slide this over a little bit so you can see it. I'm going to put in 1.0, and I hit this button here, the second button. And then I hit the button above the comma sign where that EE is. And then I'm going to put in this down here is my negative. I'm going to put in 6, and I'm going to subtract 4.37. Again, the second button, EE button, and I'm going to put in negative 7. So mathematically, I get for this answer 5.63 times 10 to the negative 7th. But I've decided I can only report 1 decimal point, so this is going to be 5.6 times 10 to the negative 7th, and that would be the answer you should report. How about when we add? Adding is pretty much the same thing. I need to have these to the most positive exponent, and negative 6 is not as positive as negative 5, so I'm going to move this one over, and I'm going to have 0.10 times 10 to the negative 5th. When I add those up, I'm going to get 4.37 times 10 to the negative 5th. But I cannot report the 7, so I'm going to have to round that up. So this would be 4.4 times 10 to the negative 5th as your final answer. So what about multiplying and dividing? Well, now we're not worried about position. Now we're worried about how many significant digits. So let's say I had 3.9 times 10 to the negative 3rd times 4.32 times 10 to the negative 2. And let's just do a mixed one where we divide by, let's say 3.77 times 10 to the negative 3. And what are we going to get? So, again, I'm going to put it in my calculator just the way it's written. I'm going to start with this 3.9, and I hit the second button and the EE button. And you'll notice you only get one E on the screen here, not two. But if you look above the number, and it's clearer on your calculator, it does say EE. And so I need to put in the negative 3. And now we're going to say times 4.32 second EE negative 2 divided by 3.77 second EE negative 3. And I get 4.4689 times 10 to the negative 2. Now, when I look at this, I have two significant figures, 3 and 3. I can only report 2. So this is going to be 4.5 times 10 to the negative 2 as your final answer. So I hope this helped. If not, ask me either in class or via email, and I'll make sure that we go over it again. Thanks.